You're Not Alone. Written by Stacy Eaton. Narrated by Marquis. My attention was drawn back to the stage area of the auditorium. The male speaker was just finishing up his segment. The audience appeared to understand this as they began to fidget even more, as if to make a run for it at the first chance. They knew that when he was done droning on, they would get a break to eat the catered lunch that was provided before the afternoon segment began. My segment. My phone vibrated in my suit jacket pocket, and I slipped my hand inside. The number on the screen was from my co-worker at the shelter, and I made my way to the door. I would take my call in the hallway so as not to disturb the end of the lecture. I glanced over my shoulder at the speaker. Yeah, it was a lecture, and there was no wonder these guys were falling asleep. I would be too if I had to listen to this guy talk about the legal aspects of dealing with victims and prosecuting suspects with as much excitement as a bullfrog sitting on a rock in the rain. I pushed open the door and slipped out into the hallway as I tapped my screen to answer my phone. Hey, Brooke, what's up? With my phone to my ear, I walked down the corridor of the hotel's corporate area. The dark red carpet under my feet cushioned my steps as I approached a glass balcony that overlooked the main entrance 2 floors down. Glass, chrome, and highly polished dark wood sparkled below. A man sat in a chair reading a newspaper, his closed briefcase beside him. You're not speaking yet, are you? She asked quickly. Would I answer the phone if I was? She laughed on the other end. No, well, you never know. You might if you thought it was important enough. The doors down the hallway opened, and the attendees started converging on me. I stepped away from the balcony edge and into a corner so I was out of their way. I learned a very long time ago, never step in the way of hungry men and their food, especially when the food was free. Actually, they're just breaking for lunch. I'm up right after. Why I always get stuck with them after they're fed is beyond me. It's so much harder to keep them awake once they have full stomachs. The men and woman staggered past, some alone, some walking in groups. More than one person mumbled about the speaker putting them to sleep. I smiled and turned my back to them, pushing the phone closer to my ear so I could hear Brooke's reply over the loud movement of people. Trinity, we all know that they put you on in the afternoon because you keep them awake. Her soft laugh flowed through the line, calming me. Nothing like a beautiful woman with a sexy voice to keep them tuned in. I shook my head. Yeah, that's me all right. Not, I thought to myself. Oh, let's not go there again. You know you are a beautiful woman. Did you forget to look in the mirror this morning? I heard a metal drawer being closed through the speaker of the phone. She must have taken her purse out so she could head to lunch. I decided to ignore her statement. Did you need something? I was trying to get her attention back to why she had called and off of me. No, I didn't need anything. I wanted to check on you. Her voice grew softer. I know how you get when you have to do these talks. She did know me well. Brooke Patterson and I had been friends for almost 10 years, and it was to her that I turned when the demons reared their ugly heads and tormented me. Not only were we friends, but we were partners in business. Both of us had lived through years of intense circumstances and had come out alive. We spent all our time now trying to educate people so they could help others who had lived like we once had. Our nonprofit organization was called You're Not Alone, and we worked with victims of domestic violence. We had started it about 8 years ago, and it was the largest organization in the tri-state area. It was because of what Brooke and I had lived through personally that we were able to do so well with the organization. We weren't just people who had learned through college courses. We had lived through the horror firsthand. I'm fine, Brooke. I appreciate that, but I'm fine. I turned back around as the hallway quieted. Only a few stragglers meandered towards the food. I watched one man walk by, his cell phone in his left hand, the pointer finger from his right hand sliding over the screen. He had strong forearms that peeked out of the rolled-up sleeves of his dark green dress shirt. I glanced up at the side of his face as he passed and sucked in a sudden breath. The curve of his jaw, the angle of his nose, the short cut of his brown hair all brought back a memory so suddenly that I froze while only my eyeballs traced his path to the stairs. My feet froze in place while my heart galloped like a horse from a burning barn. Trinity, are you all right? Brooke's voice reached my ears, but I couldn't speak.